We have met hundreds of soldiers, men and women, that were injured in battle. Upon coming home, they experienced even more difficulties dealing with life and relationships after their injury. We decided to design a meeting place for these men and women who feel and are like our friend Ray.
Hi, my name's Ray. I was concerned about my men and what was going on around me and everything, and making sure everything was secure. And that's about it, you know. I was more concerned about my men than I was about me. I didn't know I was hurt that bad. Well, at the time, you know, I was just nervous about, you know, what was going to happen and what they were going to do with me, and, you know, just nervous about what life was going to be like after this, you know. And I was hoping that it wasn't over for me. My military career wasn't over. So the doctor came up to me when I got back to the States and said, I got good news and bad news. One of them's you're going to be retired. And that was the good news, and that hurt really bad because I didn't want to be retired. And the bad news was they had to decide whether they were going to remove my left leg. My faith's always been strong with God, you know. I mean, during the whole war and the invasion and everything, I always prayed every morning for, you know, I was married at the time, and, you know, I always thought of my family first and everything, and my soldiers were my family too. So, you know, at the time, you know, being a soldier, you know, in the Army, I just prayed for my kids and the men that were under me. You know, they were traumatized. You know, it's just like everything. You know, your family's traumatized. They're confused and wondering what's going to happen, and you just go with that. You know, and you look at them and you try to, you know, you're actually trying to console them that it's going to be okay. But you know, in true reality, we all know that we're scared. You know. But now that my family has, you know, I mean, my wife is separated. She couldn't handle the severity of my injuries and deal with me being injured. You know, it's just something she couldn't deal with. So before I was injured in Iraq, our relationship was great. You know, it's just, you know, once I was injured and everything, she couldn't handle taking care of my injuries, you know, and stuff. And I was, you know, it was one of those things where we tried to stay together, but, you know, I wasn't the same man in her eyes that I was before I left. And it really hurt, you know, and that's the thing that I'm sure a lot of us go through, is the hurt and stuff. And so I look towards, you know, somebody that can actually know what I went through and can see me for who I am and not, you know, for what I was. So, you know, and that's the thing, you know, I'm not the same man I was when I went over there. I mean, you know, my left leg is below the knee is gone. My back is broke. You know, I'm 100% disabled. You know, on the outside, when I'm wearing, you know, pants, you can't tell, but, you know, there's injuries. And then, you know, the inside hurts too because of the loss of my, you know, family and stuff. So, you know, I've noticed that since my wife and I couldn't make it, there was a lot of stress there, you know, because fighting to keep my marriage alive and trying to make somebody love me that obviously had lost that feeling that there was no love between us anymore. And she wanted to move on, you know, and, you know, she decided to move on. You know, even though you fight for it, you can't always win, you know, the battle, you know. Well, I'd just like to meet some, you know, lady that, you know, doesn't look at my injuries, but looks at me and my heart, you know, and sees what kind of good man I am, you know, and everything. I mean, I could tell you how good a man I am, but, you know, you have to give a chance, you know, and a lot of times, you know, people just see the injuries and not the man within. That's what I'm looking at, is I would like a woman that has been injured, because then we can both relate to each other and we can understand where we're coming from. If you know, she's hurting, then I can know that I need to pick up and be there. Vice versa, you know, we both kind of carry each other through life, you know. That old soldier creed, you know, never leave a fallen comrade behind, you know, we could be together, you know, on that, you know, and fight through life together. I see it differently, I'm not the hero, but, they are in my eyes, I mean, anybody that, that can deal with what we go through, I guess, if she can deal with it, I can deal with it. That we have a drive in us to, to be there for each other, and the civilians can never understand that family, that camaraderie and stuff. And, I mean, I used to be a hard man, I was an airborne ranger and a hard man and everything, but I also, when I went home, I was a different man, and, I'm not that hard charging soldier anymore. I know deep down I'm not him anymore. And that's the hardest thing to grasp, that I'm not him. Well, I think this is a great idea because I'm looking at it as a way for us injured soldiers to bond with, and create a relationship with other injured soldiers that maybe we couldn't do on a site, or maybe we're afraid to, afraid to go on these sites and stuff because we'll think, oh, well, I'll just never find anybody that'll understand me. So I'm hoping this is a site that we get together and, us soldiers can get together and find our real love, somebody that we can actually bond with. I'm hoping, somebody out there we can talk and we can become closer. Oh, I would love to go out and, and basically enjoy what I can of life, I mean, I want to travel. I want to see the world, I mean, they take care of us like we get our 100%. That's like getting workman's comp in the civilian world. So I'm taking my insurance and I'm going to enjoy life, what life I have left, and just love to share it with somebody special.